Just a response to some of the comments about my piece on referendums, and uh, every so often I think, oh, there's a brilliant point, and I open the computer to do a response, and the point slips away. Bob Somiadis says, then what? The best out of 3, 5, or 7 referendums? One side will never accept the umpire's decision. I agree. Having multiple referendums seems an absurdity. The only reason you would have another referendum is if the original didn't work. Oh. So we keep calling out for Brexit benefits. If there are no Brexit benefits, then presumably Brexit has not worked. Because Brexit was sold to the people on the back of improving the National Health Service and various Brexit benefits. The National Health Service is on its knees, and nobody has actually produced a single Brexit benefit that actually holds water. Andrea Leadsom, of course. Andrea Leadsom. Yeah. Andrea Leadsom, of course, pipes on about the vaccine, but the vaccine, as we know, was produced under existing EU legislation. So it wasn't a Brexit benefit at all, no matter how much that story is spun by Boris and particularly Andrea Leadsom. And, I just want to repeat that. This idea of repeated holding lots of referendums until you get the result you want, that is not anything I would suggest. But as with all political decisions, you take the decision and then you see whether or not it's worked. As, for example, with raising the threshold for skilled worker visa. That was supposed to generate £7 billion a year. It's actually cost us £25 billion. It's produced no revenue, no benefit, and a lot of pain. It's something which needs to be revised and reversed. The 3 laws of Suella Braverman, the Nationality and Borders Act, the Illegal Migration Act, the Rwanda Act, these are 3 laws which are absurd, purposeless. They need to be repealed. Will they be repealed? It doesn't look as if the present government is going to repeal them, maybe because it's convenient to now define people who have come to this country by an irregular route as illegal migrants, but it's a definition that only exists in this country. The international understanding of an illegal migrant is quite different. So if we start playing around with language and it doesn't yield benefits, then we need to recognize that we're wrong. If we start playing around with the Constitution and it doesn't yield benefits, then we need to recognize that we are wrong. If we legislate and the law is pointless or too costly, then we need to recognize that we are wrong and repeal the law. That is the way democracy works. We do something, we test it in the real world. If it doesn't work, we need to change it, or reverse it, or modify it. But we can't keep thumping on and saying, this is a democratic decision. Democracy is about change, not about some once-for-all decision. Because often people make the wrong decision, and you then need to allow people to register a change of heart once they've seen the result. Nobody can look into a crystal ball and say this is actually what's going to happen. People can promise this is what I hope will happen, and when it doesn't, we need to recognize that we were wrongly guided, that we were misinformed, we may even have been lied to. Or the people who sold Brexit to us may themselves have not done the homework. But we have seen again and again and again recently how Conservative politicians are too lazy to do their homework. They spout whatever they've just heard, and they don't bother to check the details. That isn't wisdom. That's behaving like a sheep.